It was late Tuesday. The post-match news conference was over, and Novak Djokovic was running toward the locker room at Arthur Ashe Stadium with energy still to burn after another unexpectedly short shift at the United States Open. It has been that sort of Grand Slam tournament, a truly strange trip to the semifinals in which the opposition vanished like mirages when they came close enough to play. They retired mid-match with injuries in the cases of Mikhail Youzhny in the third round, and Jo-Wilfried Tsonga in the quarterfinals. Or they were unable to play at all, in the case of Jiri Vesely in the second round. "Novak's got a good witch doctor," said Thierry Ascione, Tsonga's coach. Perhaps it would be prudent for Djokovic's next opponent, the flashy and oft-injured Frenchman Gaël Monfils, to encase himself in bubble wrap before their semi-final on Friday. "Look, I never had a Grand Slam where I had 3 retirements up to the semifinals, but I've got to take it, I guess," Djokovic said on Tuesday after Tsonga retired with a left knee injury after losing the first 2 sets 6-3, 6-2. It is not as if Djokovic usually needs this kind of help. Long the world's #1 player and even longer the world's best hardcourt player, he has made a habit of demolishing full-strength opponents, too. But the timing of his light work schedule in New York has been just right for him this year. Marian Vida, one of his coaches, confirmed that Djokovic seriously considered not playing here at all because of a left wrist injury that was hampering his two-handed backhand. "I was very worried about it," Vida said. "It takes time to heal something like this, and there was no time, just 2 weeks to 3 weeks. So we were all worried. We didn't expect this performance here, basically because all the diagnosis, everything, led us to think that we should consider not to play the tournament basically. He needed more rest. Instead, he got that rest mid-tournament, playing just 9 complete sets in 5 rounds, fewer than he would have played in a best-of-3 set tournament if he had won each round in straight sets. This sure doesn't look like a best-of-5 tournament so far," Vida said. "It is not as if Djokovic has not played enough tennis this season. He has had quite the load, full of triumphs in the first half, including his first French Open victory in June, but more sweet and sour since then. There have been personal problems, which Djokovic has acknowledged but declined to be specific about, saying that they are now resolved. There have been early losses at the 2 most important events of the summer, a dispirited third-round loss at Wimbledon to Sam Querrey and a much more spirited first-round loss to Juan Martín del Potro at the Olympics that left him in tears, and del Potro, too. There was also the wrist injury, which Djokovic said happened a few days before the Rio de Janeiro Games, and which Vida said had required extensive treatment in New York. "Novak is very specific with this," Vida said. "He takes care of himself very much. I think he recovers very well. Mostly, he recovers from the Olympics. He was very emotional. A first French Open title and a first gold medal were Djokovic's 2 primary objectives for 2016. He will have to make do with achieving just one. A third United States Open title remains a distinct possibility, particularly if he can continue to perform the way he did in the decisive moments against Tsonga." Djokovic was not flawless, but he did look very familiar as he found myriad ways to blunt Tsonga's power, get to his weaker backhand wing, and turn full-stretch defense into full-stretch offense. Djokovic was particularly lethal with his running forehand, making excellent attacking shots from Tsonga into better passing shots. Djokovic's wrist might still be a back-of-the-mind concern, but his legs clearly are not. "I thought the 2 sets I played tonight were the best tennis I've played in this year's US Open," Djokovic said. "There has not, of course, been that much Djokovic tennis available to judge, just 84 games in all. He's locked in now and looks back in top form, but he still hasn't really been tested," said Patrick McEnroe, the former United States Davis Cup captain, on Tuesday night. "Let's hope Monfils doesn't get injured, too. It is easy to see all the injuries as the fallout from an overstuffed Olympic season. That is certainly how Vida views them. It's too many tournaments they are scheduling, he said. They have to take it into consideration. But neither Youzhny nor Vesely played in Rio. And one of the young players who skipped Rio, the rising Austrian star Dominic Thiem, also retired with a knee injury here in the fourth round against Del Potro. Tsonga did play in the Olympics, and he is now 31 years old, but Ascione declined to blame Rio for a recurrence of a knee problem that Tsonga said he had experienced in the past. Today when Jo went on the court, all was well, Ascione said. He was ready for a big battle and ready to win. There was nothing that could make you see this coming. Perhaps not, but it still seems less than ideal, and risky, to pack Wimbledon, the Olympics, the United States Open, and two Masters 1000 events into an 11-week stretch every 4 years. Yes, players can better manage their own schedules, but the game and tour could definitely do better in terms of the structure and calendar they provide. It is tempting to wonder how drained Djokovic might look at this stage if he had not lost early at Wimbledon and the Olympics. But then you remember Andy Murray, who won both those events in singles, and who still looks like he might have enough left in the tank to win here, too, and to head straight off to play the Davis Cup semifinals for Britain. Normal tennis laws seem to have been lifted at this stage, which might mean that Monfils, 0-12 against Djokovic in tour-level matches, might just have a chance on Friday. Mats Wilander, the former Swedish star, has actually made Monfils his favorite to reach the final, albeit before Djokovic plays Tsonga on Tuesday. Unlike Djokovic, Monfils has yet to lose a set at this year's Open. Djokovic dropped one to Jerzy Janowicz in the first round. And under the Swedish coach Mikael Tillström, once a clever and clean-hitting tour player, Monfils has become more focused in the last year and has emphasized quality over quantity in practice in an attempt to stay mentally and physically fresh. But 0-12 is 0-12, even if Monfils did beat Djokovic in junior play and in a long-ago futures match in Italy. Gaël has to serve great and must take the ball earlier when he gets the chance, McEnroe said. He has to defend great and believe. Basically, he has to play the perfect match. At this strange stage of the trip, it would also be nice if he could finish the match. Yeah.